Hi guys, how are you going? Hey Bella, what's up? What are you doing? Hi Bridget, I got my girls here. Yay! Alright, I'm just gonna wait till I get 100 people in the chat. And then we'll start. So I think I'm getting the hang of this OBS a little bit more each time. This is only my second one, right? Yeah, liking the crazy Sunday music. How are we all going? I wonder if we can beat 5 people in the room. That's what we've got to beat. That's the most I've had. I did get a few more subs since yesterday, but I still haven't hit 100 yet. So I kind of want to do that, in the next week. It'd be good. But I'm going to link back to Dad with the Phone and some of his footage. Just yesterday I spent a couple of hours watching his drone footage and that, and it was absolutely just breathtaking. It was gorgeous. Colorado really is stunning, and I'm not a cold fan. I'm not a snow fan, because I live in a very tropical state. So yes, don't get confused. Bridget Parker and Bridget Pica, and I saw another Bridget in Marissa's chat the other night, I think. So it's gonna get confusing, because I actually thought the name Bridget was pretty uncommon, and now it's just popping up everywhere. What the hell's going on? Someone taking my name, almost taking my last name too. That's weird. I'm still wigged out on that. But anyway, I don't know what Chaz and Marissa are doing. They were going to go downstairs and eat some crab or something. I don't know, lobster. Living the dream. Living the dream. So what time is it now? 11:50. Do you think I should start, or do you think I should wait 10 minutes? What do you reckon? Thanks for giving me the 2 likes. I know who did that, since it's the 2 of you typing. And two mystery people. Woohoo! Start now? Been patient, aren't you? I'm going to turn this music down a bit. I know it's not loud on your guys' end, but for me it is quite distracting a little bit. Anyway, I'll just turn it down a touch. Where are we? Remember, I'll just sit there and and R until I get things right. Yeah. Do you like this photo, this drawing? Isn't it beautiful? It's Frazee in his little vest. I think it's actually Frazee, but I'm going to call him Frazee just because of old Ma and Dad with the Phone and everything like that. So yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, I don't know where my dragon's going to. Hang on. Choo. Alright. Okay, guys. Notifications suck. Yeah, everyone's having it happen, so it's really crap. Almost like some lives are over by the time, you get to get the notification. Sorry, I've brought this up too far. There we go. Alright, so I'll start. So, this is what happened at the preliminary hearing. Pretty much blow by blow. I didn't take down everything, because this is like 68 slides and 3 days work. So I was like, but what I left out wasn't really, wasn't juicy or interesting or anything like that. So we know Frazee was brought into the courtroom wearing ballistic vest, shackles, and his lovely green striped jumpsuit, which sticks out like a bloody sore thumb. If anyone does want to shoot him, they sure bloody know where he is, I tell you. Remember, guys, I'm not looking at the chat just yet. Thank you. Setup is looking good. Thank you. Thank you. I am trying. Not paying for anything yet, you know, just getting backgrounds and stuff for free and that. But it's working until I get, you know, more established and things like that. So, Crystal Lee Kenny. So I thought Lee was her middle name, yeah. But I think she was married before to a guy named, was it Chad? It wasn't Chaz. Lee. So it's actually a hyphenated last name. Crystal Lee Kenny was not a witness at the preliminary hearing on February 9th because it was a probable cause hearing. They didn't need her there, but she'll definitely be at any further hearings or the actual trial, I reckon, which isn't going to happen on that April date. I'm sure it's going to get pushed off by the prosecution or the defence. Hey Yvette, good to see you again. Haven't seen you since I first started Sassmere. Lovely. You guys have been my lot that I've... Is it Bella Blue? Bella, not Bella's. We got to beat 5. 5 is our record. Okay, I'm back to this, alright. On the 18th of February, so the day before the preliminary hearing, the state amended their complaints. They added 3 counts, 1 tampering with evidence and 2 for crimes of violence, for a total now of 8 charges against Frazee. The estate endorsed Michael Dalton, Dad with a phone, Woodland Park Underground, as a witness, but he was working and Mrs. Underground went to the prelim instead, which was a stroke of good luck. We don't know why he was called as a witness, but as such this would prevent him from being present at future hearings or at the trial itself, which sucks. It'll be the drone footage, because I watched that yesterday and him pointing out, you know, dirt that was freshly dug up and that. So, yeah. I'm good, Bella. I've actually got energy today. I'm not suffering like the fatigue feelings, knock on wood. So I'm able to get this done. And yeah, which is good. And then I've got to go do a slow cooker butter chicken. So fingers crossed I've got energy to get that done today. Yeah. The prosecution's first witness was Patrick Frazee's mother, old Ma Sheila, who refused to answer all questions. The DA, Dan May, said he had a right to call and ask questions, saying she had to have good faith basis for the process, I guess the legal process. Sheila Frazee's attorney said this was unethical and he had no idea why she should be needed for this because she already did an interview with the prosecution. Like, don't you know, you only have to talk to them once in a murder, right? The judge ruled in favour of Sheila, pleading the fifth. Due to her sequestration order, she had to leave the courtroom for the remainder of the hearing. Prosecution's second witness was Woodland Park Police Commander Chris Adams. He said he became involved in the investigation on December 3rd after Kelsey's mother Cheryl reported her missing. Adams learnt that Kelsey was last seen on Thanksgiving, November 22nd, and that she was last heard from on November 25th. Frazee was the last person to hear from Kelsey. Woohoo! 6 people! Okay, we beat our record. Yay! Welcome, whoever you are. A call was recorded between Frazee and Woodland Park Police Department. In the call, Frazee said he last spoke to Kelsey on the Sunday. I'm not sure what date that was, but yeah, Thanksgiving. He said they had a heart-to-heart about the relationship not working out, wanting to go separate ways, and that the stress of travelling to Pueblo for work was getting to her. Kelsey requested her stuff back, vehicle keys, house keys, and gun that she owned. Frazee said he tried to talk some sense into her, but didn't hear from her much. He said he wanted space and that he would respect her wishes. It's nice of him, isn't it? In the phone call with police, he said that they figure out the custody arrangements from there. They have a 1-year-old daughter together named Kaylee. He said he talked to her about not doing anything crazy. He said Kelsey felt like they didn't know each other anymore. Frazee said he last got a text from Kelsey on the 25th of November, and he said she talked about moving back to Washington State or Idaho. And he further stated that Kelsey went to an alcohol or depression rehabilitation centre and that the drive to Pueblo and work stresses were getting to her. He said there were times when she worked 3 days in a row and that their custody agreement was for Frazee to have the baby while Kelsey was working. He said Kelsey self-admitted to rehab for about 2 weeks and that a church pushed her towards it. Frazee took custody of their daughter Kaylee on November 22nd, but the phone call with police was 10 days later on December 2nd. Frazee never reported Kelsey missing in that time. Yeah, he is a dirty liar. Absolutely. Kelsey was last seen checking out at a Safeway on surveillance video at 12:27 p.m. November 22nd. Surveillance video from Walmart and Williams Furniture Store showed Kelsey returning towards her hometown, and Frazee was seen on the same surveillance footage and on the surveillance video of a nearby townhouse to Kelsey that showed him at her door. A still photo of that same scene shows Kelsey, Frazee and their daughter Kaylee outside Kelsey's front door at about 1 p.m. Frazee was also seen on a different surveillance video from the 22nd of November, being at Kelsey's home at 3:36 that same day. These are some of the first exhibits tendered into evidence. They don't have a number next to them, so when the next ones come up, there'll be a higher number, about 12 or so. Warrants were requested for Kelsey and Frazee's Verizon phones, and the cell tower data showed they were both near her house on that date. Later that day, on November 22nd, the phones pinged near Devine. Later that evening, the phones were together and pinged west of Cripple Creek. Frazee called Crystal Lee Kenny and his mother Sheila on November 22nd. Two top ladies. On November 23rd, Frazee called Kelsey, but both phones pinged near his house. Stupid. November 24th, there were text and phone calls between Frazee and Kelsey's phones. Cell tower data shows they were together near Florissant and Cripple Creek. Frazee also had contact with Crystal Lee Kenny on November 24th. She was a former girlfriend of Frazee's, the court was then told. Kelsey's phone pinged off a tower near Grand Junction on November 25th before hitting another near Salt Lake and a final ping near Gooding, Idaho. Crystal's phone movements were being tracked when it was identified that she was involved in the case. Early on November 25th, her phone pinged off a tower near Grand Junction about a minute after Kelsey's did. Data indicated that those two phones were travelling together. Again, dumb. Don't they watch true crime and gossip? Jesus. Adams forced entry into Kelsey's home on December 3rd. He saw the Safeway receipt but no signs of a crime scene, a struggle, cleaning or bloodstains. Adams changed Kelsey's Facebook password so that he could access it without permission. I'm like, can you do that under a welfare check with no warrant? Because that confused me. On December 4th, Adams went back with the CBI and also used cadaver dogs. The dogs picked up a scent near Kelsey's 2006 Toyota Corolla. Blood inside her townhouse was missed on the 3rd and 4th of December by the police officers, the CBI and the cadaver dogs. They were alerted by Kelsey's family that there may be blood inside her home on December 6th. The state calls its third witness, CBI agent Greg Slater. He was brought in to assist trying to find Kelsey with Woodland Park Police on December 4th. Slater learns that Kelsey's plan for Thanksgiving was to go out to dinner with Frazee and their daughter. He also learnt that Kelsey had a gun with some sort of laser grip on it, but Frazee took it from her around New Year's Day 2017. Apparently Frazee took the gun from Kelsey during an argument when she put it to her head. I call bullshit on that. Such a liar. Slater also learned that DOS Aviation, where Kelsey worked, received a text from her on the evening of November 25th saying that she wouldn't be coming into work. Slater said Kelsey went to the Nedley Clinic in August 2 to 18 for anxiety and depression, not drug or alcohol abuse. I believe that. Kelsey's parents contacted Slater on December 6th, saying they believed they found blood in her bathroom and signs of cleaning up. Then more exhibits came out. So the first ones would have been the surveillance footage and that from Safeway. So these ones were photos that had been taken by Kelsey's dad. They were photos of the bottom part of the toilet bowl, shows suspected blood. Second photo shows fridge in the townhouse that appears to have white marks. Third photo is a doorknob with suspected blood spots on it. After Slater received photos from Kelsey's father, he went back and did presumptive tests on blood type marks in Kelsey's home, which came up positive. Blue Star chemical testing was also done that can't be seen to the naked eye. Positive results with a high degree of DNA certainty being Kelsey's were found in the toilet, exterior of the bathtub, bottom of the trash can, the floors, wall opposite the toilet, the vanity and the hinges. Guys, this blood was everywhere. This dude just went to town. I can't believe it. It's crazy. How are we going? Did we get up to 7 watching? That's amazing. It's just 5 now, but that's okay because I know people come back and watch. It's all right. Some people would have gone to bed already, I guess, in the US. Just having a drink break here. Oh my God. Yeah, you wait till we get to KK. She's more evil. It's crazy. So, speaking of her, the FBI made first contact with Crystal Lee Ketty on December 14th. She was in Las Vegas at the time and wasn't forthcoming with her relationship to Frazee, only calling it a business relationship that began in 2006. Crystal initially said she didn't know who Kelsey was. Slater went and saw her on December 18th. She lawyered up and they arrested her to obtain buccal swabs. Crystal agreed to talk to the CBI with a lawyer on December 20th. Crystal said she didn't learn about Frazee's daughter until July 2018. Frazee would apparently tell Crystal that Kelsey was a bad mother and give descriptions of abusive incidents. No proof whatsoever that Kaylee was abused. This is another bullshit lie intended to hurt the Bereth family, and I'll tell you, it's disgusting. On September 23rd, 2018, Frazee suggested Crystal taint a drink from Starbucks with Ambien or other narcotics to kill Kelsey. Kenny said she carried those drugs as a nurse. Crystal went to Starbucks, got the drink, and then went to Kelsey's house, but said she didn't put anything in the coffee. Crystal knocked on Kelsey's door and lied about her identity, saying she was a neighbour and wanted to thank her for helping find her dogs. Bloody arsey. Frazee directed Crystal to build a relationship with Kelsey, suggesting a playdate in the future. She also gave Kelsey a burner phone number that Frazee had given her. It's kind of strange. Crystal said she didn't drug the coffee because she didn't want to hurt Kelsey. Oh, it's nice of her. And she spoke to Frazee after this incident. He was very angry. On October 15th, Frazee told Crystal she would have another chance. Recess. Absolutely, Bridget. KK is Yeah, and there is a lot more hatred for her. Um, Scott Reich alluded to it in his latest video. Did the DA make a devil with the wrong person? Without coming out and saying so much. I think, maybe that's kind of where he might have been going with it. That it's her. I still haven't heard the Dad with the Phones live that was on earlier. I only caught the tail end of it. But what is this video this audio from someone who knew Patrick and spoke to him 3 days after Thanksgiving, was it? Yeah, I believe there's other witnesses as well. I mean, isn't there? Well, there's Crystal's auntie. She has to know something because she was with her in the car a couple of times. And we know old Ma knows stuff, but she's pleading the fifth. It's just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Does anyone else, I'm not normally this mean, right? But does anyone else think how beautiful Kelsey was compared to this dog? I mean, I know a mugshot's not your best picture, is it? But, oh God, I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I shouldn't say that. But, my gosh, Kelsey, so beautiful. What was he thinking? He wasn't, clearly. Yeah, I know Sheila wanted immunity. She's just as bad as his son. It's crazy. Alright, just going to take a little 2-minute recess here and then we can get back into it. And we're back. This is where I need a co-host to talk while I go to top up my drink or go to the toilet or what have you. You have a link for me, Bridget? Yes. You can. I haven't got Messenger open on here. Can you send it to missmurderaustralia@gmail.com? If anyone has anything for me, they can send that there. And I will just check on that for you. Won't be. Oh, can you hear my sneezing? It's crazy. Can you hear that? Absolutely. Alright, I've got my email open now, Bridget, so when you want to send that link through, just email it through to missmurderaustralia@gmail.com. Oh, no wrench. What happened to your wrench? Wow. Sorry about that. Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that until you brought it up. Oh, my wrenches went. It's crazy. I don't know where yours went. Sorry about that. Gosh. Alright, so Dad with the phone, Mike Dalton, spoke with someone who has known Patrick Frazee for over 15 years. She knew Kelsey and had direct contact with Patrick both by phone and in person just days after Thanksgiving. LE has yet to speak with this family. LE, I'm not sure who that is. That's interesting. I'm definitely going to listen to that when I get off. So crazy. Okay, after court recess, the state wanted to ask Sheila about the phone call on November 22nd from Frazee witnessing the burning. The judge said this is not the time and place for Sheila's testimony. Well, where the hell is it time and place for it? That's just ridiculous. If she knows something, if she witnessed that, that's huge. She should be found in contempt of court if she tries to plead the fifth shit. Judge Sells says he thinks the evidence the state seeks from Sheila can be presented from other witnesses. How? She's still sequestered, so not allowed in the courtroom. Law enforcement. Thanks, guys. Frazee told Crystal to come to his residence where he had a steel rod for her to use to assault Kelsey in a parking lot outside her townhouse. So this is the second attempt, solicitation. Slater said Crystal was told to hit Kelsey in the back of the head because there wouldn't be a lot of blood. Nice. Crystal drove to Kelsey's home and got out of the car but didn't take the rod with her. She heard a dog bark, got in her car, drove to Frazee's house and left the rod at the gate of his home. Crystal apparently wanted to please Frazee and feared retaliatory action towards her own child from Frazee if she did not. So she's just covering her whole ass there. She's scared and she wanted to please him. Which one is it? Crystal left the pipe at the Frazee home on October 16th. Sheila Frazee found the pipe and asked Patrick why it was there. God knows what he said. Crystal told Frazee she was scared and just couldn't do it. Frazee told Crystal she had another chance to get rid of Kelsey. This time he suggested a baseball bat. Crystal was told to start swinging when Kelsey comes home after an exchange of their daughter. Crystal came back about a week after the October 15th incident. She brought a bat from home, parked outside Kelsey's home, and waited. Crystal realised she couldn't do it, left the property, and drove past Kelsey to Frazee's residence. Crystal said Frazee was angry again. "If you can't do it, I'm going to have to," Frazee allegedly said. On November 3rd, Crystal was in Reno when Frazee called her again with another opportunity. She said she looked into airfare, but decided she couldn't do it. "Sorry, I can't go kill the mother of your child because the airfares are too expensive. Sorry." Frazee didn't reach out to Crystal again until November 21st. Frazee asked what she was doing for Thanksgiving. Crystal interpreted this as Frazee finding a way to make sure she couldn't get out of killing Kelsey this time. At about 4:30 p.m. on November 22nd, Frazee texted Crystal asking for her to call him. Frazee eventually called her saying, "You need to get out here now, you've got a mess to clean up." Crystal interpreted that to mean Kelsey Bereth was dead. Crystal said she couldn't come out right away, realising what happened. Frazee made it clear to her that she needed to bring things with her to clean up. Crystal exchanged her car with her friend on November 23rd. She left around 6:30 p.m. that day, arriving around 7:30 a.m. on November 24th. Crystal brought gloves, a hairnet, 2 trash bags, bleach, a white bodysuit to keep things off of her body, and booties, shoe covers. She brought those supplies from home because she had them from painting her home. Yeah, just had that stuff hanging around, Thought I'd bring it around, clean up a murder. When she arrived, Crystal went to Frazee's home and picked up a set of keys. She parked at the Woodland Park Community Centre and walked to Kelsey's home. Crystal described the scene as horrific. There was blood everywhere, she told Slater. Blood on east, south and west walls. In the living room, Frazee told Crystal to grab a sweater, look for a tooth in a vent, and clean up his daughter's toys, which were covered in blood. I was like, when I read that, I was like, this guy has no soul. Seriously. Crystal collected a stuffed animal, tin foil on top of cinnamon rolls. Just think of Dad with a phone. Cinnamon rolls. Some of Kaylee's toys, and some cookie cutters that Frazee told her to clean. She put them all in trash bags, along with curtains, pillow, and a Bible with blood on it. Lovely. And threw them all out. After Crystal collected the items, she put some towels in the washing machine. She ran out of trash bags and used 4 bags from inside Kelsey's home. She also found bloody baby wipes, suggesting Frazee tried to clean up and discarded them. Crystal used some OxyClean and Windex from inside Kelsey's home. She wiped down windows, the television, tabletops, underneath chairs, the kitchen, the bathroom, the floors, and the stairs. Crystal was instructed to clean Kelsey's bedroom on the 2nd floor. She found large bloody footprints all over the house and said it took 3 to 4 hours to clean. Crystal said she purposefully left blood spatter in certain areas of the house. Spots on the fireplace, a switch near the fireplace, and the baby gate that was leaning on the wall that leads upstairs. She told Slater she wanted police to find that evidence and find Kelsey soon. Oh my gosh, how ridiculous is this getting? Yeah, Kaylee was in the house. She was in the back room while her mother was murdered. I'm like thinking, thank God she's only, how old was she then? 12 months old? 13 months old? Hopefully, no, she can't remember. Crystal did find a tooth, but threw it away. Of course she did. When she was done, she picked up the trash and drove to Sonic She then drove to Frazee's house. Crystal said that when she talked to him about the crime, so that's when she talked to him about the crime. Crystal said Frazee put the sweater over Kelsey's face to guess the smell of a scented candle. Instead, Crystal told the police Frazee killed her, striking her with a bat. I don't know if it's the same bat that Crystal had, but I don't think that was mentioned. Frazee essentially blindfolded Kelsey with the sweater. It was tied into a knot. Crystal found it cleaning up. Frazee asked her if she cleaned up well, and Crystal said she did the best she could. Frazee said, "You better hope so." Then Frazee said, "You don't know how hard it was to go have Thanksgiving dinner after killing her." Yeah, dude, it was really hard. It's really hard. He won't get to see Kaylee. No judge in their right mind should be allowing that. It's crazy. Crystal said Frazee took Kelsey out in a black tote and set that on the ground near the green Toyota before putting it in his truck and transporting her remains to a ranch in Fremont County. So this is another piece of property that the Frazees own. The murder, according to Crystal, through Frazee, happened in a back office second bedroom. When she went back to Frazee's home, he gave her Kelsey's cell phone, and she took both Kelsey's purse and phone with her. Frazee wanted Crystal to take the remains to Idaho, but she refused. Why? You've done everything else. What's taking a body to another state? It's extra. Frazee said, "We're finishing this." So at Frazee's direction, Crystal texts Cheryl Bereth from Kelsey's phone saying she would call her tomorrow. Sheila Frazee had Kaylee at this time. This all happened on November 24th. After that text, Crystal met Frazee at the fluorescent Conoco gas station to go to the Nash property, out to the ranch. Crystal said Frazee backed the truck up to a large red barn. Crystal said she thought Frazee used a ladder to put Kelsey's body near a big haystack. They took the tote with her gun inside. This is where it was a bit unclear. Crystal couldn't confirm if Kelsey was still in the tote that they took inside or he put her body near a big haystack. That wasn't absolutely clear in court. Frazee then pulled a trough and started a large fire with gasoline to burn the tote. Crystal said the flame was so high that Sheila Frazee came out to the front porch to look. Crystal also grabbed the trash bags and Kelsey's purse to burn it in the fire. She recalled seeing a lump in the tote. Again, not sure if it was Kelsey. Oh my gosh. This is just, it's so horrible. Crystal threw Kelsey's keys into a gorge in Gooding, Idaho. She told investigators about her route back to Twin Falls, which matched the phone records. She then burned Kelsey's phone and a burner phone in her yard. Crystal took the remnants and discarded them at the hospital she worked at. She told police she left her phone on along the drive back so that police could find her. She seriously think that they're going to believe that? She also said she was instructed by Frazee to text him from Kelsey's phone, "Do you even love me anymore?" and tell her supervisor about a trip to see her grandma. In conversation with Crystal, Slater said Frazee wanted to make it look like Kelsey just went off on her own. That's also why Crystal took Kelsey's gun. What didn't she take? Crystal gave investigators the locations of where she had Kelsey's phone on for pings. She gave Kelsey's gun to her high school friend Mark Pearson, saying it was her aunt's gun and she just wanted to get rid of it. There was a second interview with Crystal at the Colorado Springs Police Department. This interview was much shorter, about 90 minutes. This was after law enforcement went to some sites with Crystal. About the gun, Slater said they were able to track down Mark Pearson and get the gun. Pearson said he got it from Crystal. An ATF analysis revealed it belonged to Kelsey. When interviewing Crystal, Slater said she did not know Kelsey's phone also pinged near Grand Junction and Salt Lake. Remember, we all only knew about Gooding, Idaho at that stage. The site visits, the Nash Ranch, Kelsey's townhouse, and back to the Frazee residence, those were on December 21st, the state said. Then they brought in exhibits 9, 10, 11. So 9 is a photo of 2 red barns on the Nash Ranch near where Frazee pulled up. 10 is a photo of a hay bale that is distinctively discoloured from other bales. 11 is the tractor Slater said Frazee used to move the hay bale. And those photos aren't currently available, they're still sealed. Crystal said Frazee had to climb this large stack and go to the back to grab the tote and a plastic bag containing Kelsey's gun. The tractor was used to bring the tote down from the top of the stack. They went to Frazee's property first that day. Crystal showed investigators where the burn was. New Exhibit 12 is a photo of aerial view with a pin indicating where the burn area was. The site visits were on December 21st. Slater said Crystal had no difficulty remembering where the burn area and the Nash Ranch were. At Frazee's property, Slater said something caught his eye. In Afghanistan, he said he was trained to detect where IEDs were. He noticed a distinct discoloration in an area that Crystal eventually pointed out as the burn area. The dirt was darker there than nearby. Are you guys buffering at all? Looks like I'm buffering here. It seems to be a little bit behind. All good? Yeah, it's buffering here. That's strange. Okay. Not too much to go. A little bit. According to Crystal, Frazee scooped up Kelsey's remains. Oh my god, I can't even. Seriously. He planned to put them in the dump or toss them elsewhere. Now, this is why they would have called Dad with the phone as a witness. Just let me bring it up because of his drone footage. I'm just going to bring this up. So Woodland Park Police Department have issued this 2 days ago. That they're continuing to investigate leads in locating Kelsey, and they will begin searching the Midway landfill in Fountain, Colorado on February 26th. Now I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but Dad with the phone took drone footage of this about a month ago, I believe, so I think that would be why they would be interested in this. So there will be a media staging area designated for Monday, February 25th. And so the search is going to be done the next day. So yeah, it appeared to be dropping a bit behind here too. I hope that doesn't affect the... I'm just going to refresh. I hope that doesn't affect the story cutting in or out. Okay, well I've refreshed and I'm up to that now, so hopefully the rest was okay. Cranky if it wasn't, I tell ya. Slater said he didn't see anything charred in the dirt there, he just noticed the discoloration. FBI evidence teams were present Crystal also pointed out a small red plastic gas can and totes, similar to what she said Frazee used to transport Kelsey's body. I think they're looking for cremation remnants, to be honest. I think people are dropping out. It's weird. I'm trying to work out where the time is that was lost. I won't be able to do that until I finish the live and go back to it, unfortunately. That's a shame. My first proper OBS that I worked 3 days on. If that's dropped out, I'll have to come back and do a second bit updating you with what was going on. Oh gosh. Alright, I'm just going to keep going on the recording and hopefully it picked everything up. So there we go. So Slater said a cadaver dog was brought to the Nash Ranch eventually. It alerted to the specific discoloration hay bale when positioned both above and underneath it. Paperwork was found on the first search of the property pertaining to Frazee's custody of their 1-year-old daughter. Slater said he believes the paperwork was dated August 2018, but the investigation showed no filings or court proceedings relating to the custody of the daughter. Slater said luminol was used on December 6th to find DNA, but it didn't react. They, the CBI, later tore out some of the hardwood floor in the living room. Going back to December 21st, Slater said he could see the film residue on hard surfaces like the TV, couch and other tabletops. These were the same areas Crystal wiped down when she cleaned up. The state exhibit enters exhibits 13 to 30, and those are photos taken inside Kelsey's townhouse, which again are still sealed, I do believe. Slater said the CBI agents were able to find areas where blood remained, including the fireplace and nearby wall with a light switch. Again, that matches Crystal's story. Slater said testing on those samples isn't complete yet. Slater said suspected blood spatter was found underneath some chairs. Another photo includes floorboards that have suspected blood splatter between the tongue and grooves, but this wasn't visible to investigators until the floor was pulled up. And states evidence ends at recess, then for the defence to come in. Okay. Quick recess. Top up my drink. This is the most talking I've ever done. Hi. Always remember to unmute your microphone and please don't smoke the sage. What are we doing? Defense! Alright, court back in session. Defense now cross-examining Slater. The defense points out that the Bereth family, Cheryl and Clint, stayed at Kelsey's townhouse between December 3rd and the 6th, not necessarily overnight every day, making the point that it's not normal to have people in and out of a crime scene. The defense is curious about the December 4th search of Kelsey's townhouse. They ask Slater about what was visible, to which he responds nothing, blood, signs of a struggle, etc. The defense asked about cadaver dog actions in the home. The handler reported the dog was interested in a pair of Kelsey's underwear. It also alerted near Kelsey's Toyota. The defense asked if the car was searched. Slater said yes, a pair of socks reacted with the reactant test. More DNA experts processed Kelsey's townhouse on December 6th. The defense asked specifics about colours in Kelsey's bathroom. The only blood spot visible to the naked eye was in the toilet. Sorry, this is delaying a bit, guys. It is lagging, isn't it? Oh well. Almost done. Takes as long to read out as it does to type out. The defense pointed out Kelsey was on her period at the time. So, like, seriously, Slater confirms he found tampons in the trash, but, like, the defense seems to, like, just pointing out things, you know, that are, like, obvious. It's like this is any defense at all. And also, just thinking about that, this is a bit yucky, but can they tell the difference between menstrual blood and, like, you know, blood in the scene of a crime? I don't even know the answer to that. I don't know if I want to know. Anyway, the defense also pointed out the DNA of another male was found in Kelsey's sink. Tests reveal it wasn't that of their client, Patrick Frazee, but they didn't go on to say anything about if they had tested her family, you know, her father, anything like that. So I don't think Kelsey was dating anyone else at the time. Slater said he wasn't involved in the search and processing of Frazee's truck. The defense asked if he's aware no blood or other signs of human decomposition were found inside the truck. And Slater said no, but that he believed that the cadaver dog wasn't run past the truck. And I think this is one of the things that Dad with the Phone was referring to about the Woodland Park and the CBI, but mainly Woodland Park, because I think it might be their dogs, I'm not sure. But that there were a lot of things that they mucked up, didn't do, or did do but too late, you know, things like that. So there is talk of that there too. The defence then focused on Slater's conversation with the Bereths, pointing out Cheryl didn't reach out to Kelsey for about a week between November 25th and December 2nd. The defence then brings up conversation between Frazee and Cheryl Bereth on December 2nd. Cheryl texted him asking to check in on Kelsey, and Frazee called her back with details about Kelsey wanting to go her separate way from him. The defence asked Slater if Frazee alluded to not wanting to give Kelsey her gun back, and Slater confirmed this. The defence then asked if he knows anything about the number of cell towers in the area. Slater said he didn't. The defence asked if Slater was the one to ask Frazee to meet on December 4th when they eventually met in Colorado Springs. Slater said no, it was Agent Torres, and that there was an agreement to meet at a Five Guys restaurant. I don't have a lot of information on that, but I could see if I could find some more. In that meeting, defence said Frazee talked to his brother Sean before talking to investigators. He then said he'd give a statement but wanted to talk to an attorney. At a cellular level, they can. That's interesting, Bella. That's crazy. Yes, there was one reporter in the courtroom, so he got all of this information and just went through and basically typed out all the strong ones. There were bits and pieces there that, you know, didn't really kind of matter to the overall case. What I did think was interesting, though, is in the press conference afterwards, which I haven't watched all of, but there is a law in Colorado that if you back out of murdering someone, that is a defense. Isn't that crazy? And so that's why they're not charging her with any of those 3 attempts, and only with the tampering of evidence. But she cleaned up a whole crime scene. This isn't just what, well, I originally thought, you know, was she just took the phone to Idaho. Okay, that's pretty bad in itself, and maybe you could get a slap on the wrist and some probation for that. But all of the other stuff, and she's probably not going to see the inside of a jail. Definitely. It's crazy. Kelsey was diagnosed with severe non-suicidal, I'll repeat that, non-suicidal depression. The defence asked if she lied, knowing that she told Doss she had chronic fatigue. Hell, I understand that. Slater said no, they were related. You know, exactly, like she wasn't suicidal, she wouldn't run off. She's like, not only did he kill her, and you may as well say Crystal killed her as well, this mother is dead, and we still gotta just smear her name and just stomp her face and her reputation into the ground some more by saying that, you know, she was druggy and abusive to her child and all the rest of it. It's like, at least leave her with her character, you know. The defence then asks if Slater was involved in discussion with Chad Lee. See, this is Crystal's estranged husband. The prosecution said Chad didn't know much about Frazee. Neither did Crystal's dad, who didn't notice anything different on Thanksgiving Day when he was with his daughter. Absolutely is concealing an offence. The amount of stuff that she threw out, the amount of evidence that she destroyed just astounded me. It's like, oh. The defence then asked about Crystal's aunt, Christy. There's too many K's in this. I went mental typing them out. Christy was with Crystal during her trip to Vegas and didn't notice odd behaviour. Christy was unaware of Crystal's relationship with Frazee and Kelsey's disappearance. I don't know about that. The defence then brought up Crystal's interview on December 14th in Las Vegas. She denied knowing about Kelsey Bereth and denied having a personal relationship with Frazee. At some point, investigators brought up the ping from Kelsey's phone in Idaho. Crystal said she didn't know, and she also refused to release her phone records at that point. The investigators then went to Crystal's home on December 18th with proof that she lied to the FBI and about her knowledge of what happened. Crystal wouldn't speak without her attorney present, which then happened December 20th, so just a recap of what we heard before, after reaching an agreement with the DA's office about her charges. How the frick did she get that plea? That lawyer must have been really good. The defence then pointed out the fact that Frazee never blatantly said he wanted Crystal to kill Kelsey, and Slater agreed with that. I mean, gosh, really? Crystal felt like Frazee was just pulling her chain, and she was the one who suggested putting Ambien in Kelsey's coffee. That's interesting. Was that Crystal's idea and not Patrick's? It was Crystal who tried establishing a rapport with Kelsey and gave her the number to the burner phone on September 23rd. Crystal destroyed that phone and actually got another burner phone before her October 15th visit to Kelsey's home. The defence and Slater both agreed on that. So again, that's showing that more of this is about her, coming from her and not him. And I can't wait to hear these snippets of interview that Dad has. That's going to be awesome. Slater confirmed Crystal brought an aluminium bat the third time, which he agrees was the closest she came to committing the crime. I do wonder if that was the murder weapon. I'm not sure where it is. The defence points out she didn't once warn Kelsey about what was happening. The defence also added that Crystal used towels to cover a window above the sink, which is on the same wall as the front door to Kelsey's townhouse. The defence then went through Crystal's clean-up efforts. Again, Crystal never saw Kelsey Bereth's body. She never noticed an odour at the ranch or at Frazee's home. She went as far as to remove the identification from Kelsey's wallet to make sure that they would burn. She thought of everything. Really. Oh, I don't know why you guys are losing time. It's so weird. Like, I've got a delay here now, but it's only a couple of seconds. So I'm waiting before I switch slides. Slater told the defence that Frazee was Crystal's first love and that she still loved him, clearly, for the things she did. This was taken from interviews with her. The defence asked if neighbours, especially the ones whose surveillance was submitted, noticed anything out of ordinary around November 22nd. They also asked if there was any footage of Frazee taking a big tote from the home, entering with a bat, or Crystal entering, and Slater said no. And like they said, you know, this was going to come down to, I think Judy Ron might have said it, that this was going to come down to cell phone data, towers and pings. Slater agrees there was no reported sightings of Frazee at the Nash Ranch between November 22nd to 24th. That doesn't mean he wasn't there. It just means no one saw him. And the defence rests. Good, shut up. Alright. So state comes back in for a little bit. The state asked about Crystal's details given regarding her cleaning up Kelsey's townhouse, and Slater said she was very detailed and that it was obvious Crystal had been inside that townhouse, I guess by the description she'd made. The state reiterated that testing of certain possible blood spots, which Crystal pointed out was not complete yet. Slater touts his 30 plus years in law enforcement to say he believed those spots to indeed be blood. The state asked Slater about Michelle Stein, a friend of Crystal's and former paralegal in Idaho. Michelle was told what happened by Crystal. She said she's done with Patrick, and Michelle told Crystal that she needed to tell someone. So there's another person who knows more than what, you know, they're letting on. There's the art, there's this friend, there's guy she gave the gun to. There's old Ma. It's just crazy. The state asked if the crime scene was treated fairly, and Slater said yes. Why wouldn't it be? Well, they think they're going to be dodgy. Questioning done, Steigerwald then asked the court to review the third count, felony murder tied to robbery, and suggested the judge review evidence presented to toss that count out. The defence argued that the theft took place after the alleged murder, and the state replied that the sequence of events was irrelevant. Defence then cited case law. Of course they did. The judge cited statutes for proof of evident presumption and says the state has established probable cause in both first-degree murder counts as well as for all three solicitation accounts. They've more than proven it. The judge also found proof evident for tampering with evidence. Frazee will be held without bond. The judge asked the defence to set trial or arraignment. They asked for arraignment, saying that the DA's office just emailed 3,300 pages of discovery to him, beating Chris Watts. The arraignment was set for April the 8th at 8:30 a.m. Let's see if that happens or if they're going to ask for a continuance. The judge then addressed motions to unseal the arrest, probable cause affidavit. The defence still wants it sealed and would like the media to talk with the defence before requesting future motions. DA Dan May said he had no objection to releasing any of the search or arrest warrants after talking with law enforcement. May said there were 32 search warrants in a conversation with the defence. The charges have been released. I believe I do have them. It's a 12-page file. I'll link to it after the video. The judge ruled to release the arrest warrant but deferred judgment on the entire docket. The state needed time to redact. Wonder what they'll redact. Judge Sells admitted he hadn't reviewed all search warrants, so he would not release those yet. The state then brought up its motion for consumptive testing. The defence said it was not ready to address that. So the consumptive testing is when there's so little DNA or substance that they need to test that you're only going to get one chance at it, then, you know, they really need to look at that because, say, the prosecution wants to test this DNA and then it will degrade, or there is only just the tiniest amount to get results, you know, for one test, and then the defence can't test it to see if it's exculpatory evidence. The defence, so the judge set that for a separate legal argument hearing on March 4th at 8:30 a.m. So that's going to be the next one, and that will be for the consumptive testing on particular pieces of evidence they have. The defence asked court to amend the order limiting contact from Patrick Frazee to Kaylee Frazee. They asked for the court to address it moving forward. The judge agrees. So right now, Kelsey's mum has custody of Kaylee, and she should continue to until she turns 18, I believe. He does not deserve to see his daughter. Ooh. Alright, so press conference and the notes of importance. So the prosecutors are saying Kaylee was in the back room like we discussed before, guys. Hey, 8 watching now. What a record. We beat it. Now we need 9. Only need 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, Kaylee was in the back room when the murder happened. They say Kelsey was killed in the living room. So it must be multiple rooms that he hit her in. May says at trial Crystal would come forward and present that evidence against Frazee. Can you imagine how unnerving that would be to have to sit there and say all of that. It must be pretty scary. I don't feel bad for her. I'm just saying it must feel pretty freaky. May said motive isn't something they need to prove, and it wasn't talked about much in the preliminary hearing. What do we think the motive is? Was it just to gain custody of his daughter? I wonder about that. I've not heard it raised once. Veerman clarified that they found Crystal through phone records, especially through Frazee's phone. Of course, you can't get away with anything these days, when the phone's involved with the data. So, yeah. Oh, we came to the end. We did it. Yay! Hip hip hooray! And that's all the juice. All the juice on it. It was a good hearing. It would have been great if it had have been on video. It would have been a great one to watch, but sadly, he did a Chris Watts and, made it horrible for us all. Motives, yes, motives, plural. Good point, Bella Blue. Frazee's or hers? Jealousy? She said he was her first love and she still loved him. Jealousy. Envy. Shocked to find out that he had a daughter with her. KK does have more motive. I agree, Bridget, totally. It's crazy. The more you think about it, the more it really does make sense, doesn't it? It makes more sense that she did this. I wonder what his defense will be. It's going to be really interesting. Yeah, I believe that, Bella. That's not nearly as, what's the word I'm looking for? An emotional defense as what she would have had. Hers would have been very, it seems very crime of passion-y, doesn't it? It's just horrible. And, like a lot of other trials, like Chris Watts or Casey Anthony and that, there are so many questions that we will never know the answer to. And that's really kind of scary and sad as well, especially for those, that are close to them. It's just... Yeah, Sarah. Hi, I didn't see you come in. I was reading. It is reasonable doubt right there. And then, so if he gets off, she's gotten off. They've both gotten away with murder. It's crazy. Alright, so we're going to come back, March 4th for the consumptive evidence hearing, see what's going to happen with that, what they've got that they want to test that there's so little of. And then April 8th, but I reckon they'll get a continuance. There seems to be a lot more evidence out there that needs to come in, and for that to be coming in the next, 5-6 weeks. We're going to see this at least drag out for the rest of this year at least, I think. So, alright guys, well, this is my longest live so far, so we beat that record. We beat the chat record. Got to 8. Woohoo! Now, don't forget to subscribe like, share, bell to my channel. Okay? Got to do all of that. And then I love giving away things. I don't know what yet, but I'm going to do some giveaways. And news of that will come up shortly. We got to 9, really? I have to go back and see that 9. Thanks for coming in, guys. It's good to see you all. And hopefully I will be back in the next couple of days with something else. Now that I've done that, I'm actually not sure what I'm going to do next. I kind of had just these few things in the front of my mind because I was so tired and working on them and thinking, don't do 8 things, Bridget, like you normally do. Just do 2. And so I've done that. Now where? I still do have to do the Jaden Lesky, but I'm just waiting on someone I need for it, audio wise. But there's that. I've still got to keep digging on Lauren Thompson. The interesting thing about that is that there's a detective out there who will help, like, free of charge, and just work off tips and things like that, you know, so we could do like a GoFundMe or a PayPal me or whatever. But he won't look into anything unless he has permission from the victims or the person's family. And Lauren's mother has his number and has not called him. I don't think the discussion that I had was that she doesn't want to come to the terms that maybe Lauren's no longer alive, and as a mother I can totally understand that. But if there is a private detective there willing to help you, I would be on the phone ringing him as fast as I could. So I'm still going to dig there. There is surveillance video of her the day she went missing. Remember, she was in Panola County, Texas, rang 911 at 2:30 on a Thursday afternoon, saying she was being chased through the woods by someone and her phone went flat. And so she was seen on camera at a, what's the name of that dollar store, dollars, maybe it's dollar store, cash something, and either in Carthage or there's another one in, I don't know where it was. I have to look my notes up, but yeah, there's footage of her with a man on there at about 10:30 that morning, so that was only 4 hours before she went missing. Also, got some interesting alleged stuff about her ex-boyfriend, John Bandy. He's not a good guy. Not a good guy at all. So perhaps I can get some of that information out over the next couple of days. And then we really need to get back and start focusing on the Australian stuff, don't we? Don't we, guys? Alright, well, I hope you have a great rest of your Sunday, Saturday night if you're in the US, and sleep if you're in the UK. And I'll see you guys soon.